Welcome to B2B with Randy and Craig, where we speak to local entrepreneurs and learn about their journey. Welcome to B2B with Randy and Craig, where we discuss the rise, the fall,
and the kick in the...
No. Every week I tell you, not on a Sunday morning. It's too early. Family show. We're not doing it. I'm Randy.
I'm Craig from That's a Wrap Productions.
And we're here with Jess Maloney from Boss Babes Who Brunch.
That's right.
Got a very important question for you.
Go for it.
Why?
All right. Why mastermind networking?
Well, mastermind networking sets us apart from other traditional networking groups. So we started with very traditional networking and quickly evolved into mastermind because the quality of conversations that you have at a networking event, those are the things that really help you grow your business, right?
So are there criteria? And you're 100% right. Is there criteria to be, do I have to be a babe?
Well,
Because he's a babe.
You're kind of a babe, I'm not going to lie. But typically it's a women's group.
Got it.
We do focus on women entrepreneurs here on Long Island.
So I must be a business owner?
A business owner or somebody interested in building a business. We had a couple girls recently who were looking to get into the realm of entrepreneurship and looking for some guidance there. So we're open to that as well.
So I can be an entrepreneur in my journey. I could be getting ready to begin my journey, and I'm surrounding myself with like-minded people who are not only potentially, networking in the same areas, but also help me to grow and experience things I may not even know I'm going to experience as an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
So how did you have a previous job of networking people, or how did this come about?
No, she was masterminding people.
Oh, she was masterminding people. Gotcha.
Funny you should ask.
Well, my journey it starts years ago, but I'm a licensed mental health counselor, so I have a private practice that I run as well. And
what's the name of your practice? Can we ask?
It's Mind Body Strength Counseling. It's just me right now in solo practitioner.
Awesome.
Yeah, based in Smithtown. Thank you. And I've always really desired to help people, obviously, through, whatever mental struggles they were going through. And at the end of 2020, COVID, everything was going on.
Oh, boy.
I went through some of my own personal experiences. I went through a divorce. I had a lot of, personal struggles and shame and self-doubt. And there was some emotional abuse going on. So,
right, and here's somebody who you teach people how to cope with that, and now you're dealing with it yourself.
Right, which is a very unique situation. If any other, helping professionals have had to go through that.
Right.
But then I really wanted to step out from behind a desk and help more women. I started speaking on stages. I started doing women's empowerment coaching. And that's when I fell in love with entrepreneurs. The mindset of an entrepreneur is just so different.
Was there a spark that said, hey, you know what? I think I can get a whole bunch of people together and create a big group of women that will eat brunch together?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, who doesn't love brunch, right? But
I love brunch.
I'm a single mom. I have 2 young kids. I couldn't get to a lot of the traditional networking events that were going on because they're weeknights usually.
Right.
So I was like, let's see if I can get some Sunday afternooners to come out for brunch.
Because I'm a big networker as well.
Yes.
And I'm actually in B&I. And the number of people that come into the group and they're like, I love this, but I can't get up. And not that they don't want to get up. They have obligations.
Yeah.
Gotta
Very
put the kids
smart.
on the
That's
bus.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right.
Brilliant. And I'm sure there's quite a few members in your group that are working moms.
Yeah.
And you're making it so that there's availability for them to come in and be amongst people and learn and teach.
Yes. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Where's your sense of accomplishment come from as an entrepreneur? And I'm not talking about your practice. Let's talk about, let's stay with Boss Babes Who Brunch.
Sure.
First of all, I love saying it. Boss Babes Who Brunch.
That's
I
right.
love saying it.
I know. It's fun. Flows,
It
right?
is.
Triple B.
You guys have T-shirts. I would love a T-shirt.
I'll make you one.
There you go.
Fantastic.
That was one of
Are
my
they
other
pink
businesses.
or
All right,
are
there
they...
you go.
Whatever you want.
You're a serial entrepreneur.
I
it sounds
am.
like. All right. So anyway, we'll ask you.
Story
we got
for
a lot,
another
a lot
time.
of stuff.
My sense of accomplishment, it comes from, so many places inside of this community, right? It's the connections that I make. I really try to reach out to anybody and everybody that comes in contact with me, whether it be on social media or at one of my events, and have a relationship with them. For them to tell me, one of the girls walked into brunch this past month and she was like, this is like a total vibe. She goes, this is great. I haven't been here before, but this is exactly what I needed. And that just fills my cup.
So let me ask you a deeper question from her.
Sure.
And let's not say her name. What did she need?
I think she just needed community. She needed to know that she was doing the right thing and that we could propel her forward.
Right.
You know, like I feel like just there's a lot of stagnation, you know, in certain events. It's like you come, you sell, you talk, and that's it.
Transactional.
Yeah,
That's not
a
what
great
this
word.
is. That's not what.
There's no rapport in that though, right?
Yeah.
It's a one and done.
Right.
It's a one and
Right.
done.
Yeah, it's a cute picture. It's maybe connection, but then you know you have to make that effort to follow up, of course.
Is there a structure within the meetings, or is it a free open floor?
Yeah.
Give me a feel what that's like.
We do structure our events. We just actually pivoted with the new year, 2025. But we do.
So far, 2025 has been a real dumpster fire.
no.
Between California and between
A real fire. That's a real fire, not a dumpster fire. That's a real fire.
That's a forest fire.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just a lot of craziness going on so soon into the season. Anyway, whatever. By the way, this is going to be airing in April, so by then, whatever
Hopefully
happens,
that'll be out by
hopefully it'll be
then.
done.
Yeah.
So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you.
that's okay. But one of my goals is to make sure that everybody who attends knows who they're in the room with. Right. So we go around, we let everybody say who they are, what their business is, so that when we're done with our conversation piece, they can go follow up with the people that, I want to meet them.
Right.
So then they go and like, hi, I'm introducing myself very like confidently knowing who you're approaching.
Who's there?
Right?
Right.
And then we just transitioned into having a topic of conversation. So we have, this past month we had one of our mastermind members facilitating a conversation on finances.
And I knew that prior to going to the meeting, that this meeting topic was going to be finances.
This one was like I said, it was a new pivot we made this year. So we didn't quite have the topic assigned until just a couple weeks before. But then we started sharing that, one of our members was going to be facilitating this conversation. It will be financial.
That's awesome.
So come and join us for that.
I mean, if you're in need of, and I'm sure I could suggest as a member,
I'd love
hey,
that,
I would love to hear about whatever obstacle potentially, or whatever I've been super successful with that I think may help other members, right?
Yeah.
That's the share time.
Absolutely. And, we do have a membership, so we invite our members to step into those positions first. But we're also welcoming to anybody else who has this expertise or has, an area that they would like to learn about. Let us know. Like we're here for you, for them,
Right. So you said you're a parent as well, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I find my biggest struggle as an entrepreneur is balancing my family life with my business life. How do you juggle the, not only running your practice, but also the boss babes who enjoy brunch.
They love brunch.
They love brunch.
We love it. Yeah. Scheduling. And really trying to stick to your commitments, knowing what your priorities are, and finding ways to schedule them, whether it be you're automatically scheduling them or you're scheduling your time so that you can kind of compartmentalize so that I can work between these hours and these hours. And then when the kids come home, we're homework, we're dinner, we're bath, we're all these things. And then sometimes I'll go back to work to finish up some things, or not, depending on the day.
You wear multiple hats and you're multitasking.
Yeah.
And I'm making it sound much easier than it is.
Oh, I've learned to dance with it all.
I am sure. I am sure. So, you mentioned that when a meeting kicks off, and all these entrepreneurs are sitting in a room at different phases of their career, you're going around the room and everybody's introducing themselves and talking about, what they do for a living and whatever other information, including their name. So tell me how these entrepreneurs feel if there's two photographers in the room, if there's two graphic designers in the room. That's always been something in networking. That's always been.
It's a hard workaround.
Well, it is. It's a hot potato.
Yeah.
And I think a mature networker, and I mean that not disrespectfully, understands how to that we can help each other.
Yeah.
That's not a competitor.
Yes.
That could be a helper. I'm just curious, is that something that you guys really focus on?
Not heavily inside of our events, but it's a great question because one of the foundations that we're built on is connection and collaboration. We're really, really strong about that. And we actually have a few photographers specifically inside of our mastermind. Two of them are actually partnering up together for a special event.
That's awesome.
And I think it's awesome.
And prior to your meeting introduction, they would have been competitors.
Correct. So I'll never forget this because our first guest was the one that actually said it, and it's so strong. It's competition happens at the bottom, collaboration happens at the top.
Facts.
It's changed my perspective on everything. Now, if you are just tuning in to WBAB or Apple or Spotify,
He's smooth, right?
I love it.
we are sitting with Jess Maloney from Boss Babes Who Brunch, not breakfast or dinner,
No,
but brunch.
Yeah.
So
The following guest, by the way, is Carol, who's bringing on cats. I was going to.
cats who knit.
Cats who like catnip.
So every session, I like to have $1 million question. So my $1 million question for you is: what is the favorite brunch order? Is it eggs Benny? Where are you going? Are you going burgers? Where are you going with it? What's your choice?
Ooh.
Your staple. You have to have.
Mimosas. Are we allowed to have mimosas?
Absolutely.
Yo,
I mean,
you
what's
can't
brunch
have a
without
meeting without
mimosa?
mimosas, right?
No, it's brunch.
See,
I don't know.
I'm a Benedict guy. I'll take a Benedict anyway. What about you?
I think I'm an omelet gal.
Yeah.
I like a
Okay.
little cheese with my eggs.
Me too. So how many years has Boss Babes Who Brunch been in operation?
We just hit our 1 year mark in September.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
What's your
you.
membership count?
We have about 30 members right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there a, first of all, how does somebody become a member? How do they find you? Tell our listeners.
Yeah, well, I'll just say anybody who's interested in joining us for a brunch can attend. You know, we have a ticketed brunch events. You don't have to be a member to come to our
How
brunch
do they
events.
find you to go onto the
You
brunch?
can find us on Instagram at bossbabeswhobrunch.li or on our website at bossbabesbrunch.com.
Now, do you bounce around to different places, or is it like we go to Jam on Park every Saturday on so and so time, or is it
Well, first of all, they're only on Sundays, if you were listening.
yeah.
Well, we have flip-flopped. I'm not going to lie to a Saturday or a Sunday, but
Got
it.
we do move around. One of the things that I want to do is be able to showcase other businesses too, you know? So
double dip. I love it.
yeah.
That's good. That's brilliant.
Because if I
Brilliant.
can help advertise for another place, whether it be a restaurant or, you know, breweries are great for us, and I can advertise that people can come to them. We go in at a time where maybe it's not as busy and
Sure.
bring them some business. And in return, we get a space for our networking events.
Right. And maybe half price, maybe discount, and maybe they give you free mimosas. Who knows? So what's the process? So an entrepreneur comes into one of your meetings, loves the vibe, feels they're getting a lot out of it, and they can contribute a lot, which is a great member, I'm sure, for you.
Fantastic.
So what's your process? Is there an application, and what are you looking at? Their business background? Tell us.
Really looking at their desire for growth and collaboration. You know, when people come into our community, it's important that they're there for not only themselves, but for the support of each other.
Sure.
You know,
Right,
I want them to desperately and passionately want more for themselves, their lives, and their business, because that's the energy that we exude. And
Right.
it's important to me to have a phone call with anybody who joins our community before they come in to make sure that they're right for us.
And
Right.
right from the sense what their goals and ambitions are, and also you want to make sure that their business is a business that you'd feel comfortable having in your house,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because it becomes when you're collaborating, you're referring. So if I'm referring, I better know the person I'm referring is
Yeah.
going to do what I would do,
Right.
right?
Yeah. So,
I think that's important.
yeah, it's just part of the relationship building as well, which is good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So the Boss Babes, I'm assuming, don't have a set mascot, right? But you know, as a personal, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but I was actually a professional mascot for 10 years.
Okay.
What would you have as your mascot if you were to have one?
The first thing that went through her mind, and I could read her eyes, if people on the radio, I didn't know they were professional mascots.
I thought you were going to offer to be our
And
mascot.
for 10 years, he happens to own at home, and he doesn't know an ex-Benedict costume that he bought at closeout. He has no idea what to do with it. That's why you're here. So would you mind having him?
Oh boy, that's what I thought. I was like, he's going to offer to be the mascot.
With the cape and everything.
He's a
It's
Western
gotta be a
omelet.
cake.
Can he be a Western omelet?
I don't know. I might have to get back to you guys on that. The
That was a
mascot.
tough one.
Yeah.
Now,
that was a tough one.
Now, everyone knows that my shtick is that I am the undisputed cinematography champion of the world, right?
Phenomenal.
do you at the Boss Babes Who Brunch have a gimmick or motto or saying that gets you guys well known?
Well, we do call ourselves a dynasty inside of our mastermind group because
Love it.
we are full of women CEOs who are building empires.
Nice.
And a group of empire builders as a dynasty.
That is fantastic. Do you ever bring in speakers, someone who maybe it's a life coach? So you do.
Yeah. So I've had the privilege of working with a lot of incredible people through my journey in coaching and life coaching. I worked with Les Brown for 9 months, and he mentored me in my speaking career.
Wow.
And through that group, I met great people, and I had one of them as a guest speaker a few months ago. And I'm very lucky to have those connections as well, because I think that having somebody with a very specific area of expertise is great. You know,
Sure.
like, it's not just me. Like I want to be able to bring in as many other people as I possibly can.
But what would you say the most common misconception about networking and masterminding is?
And brunch.
And brunch.
Misconception about
the
brunch. People don't know what
calories
to
are
order,
free.
right?
Brunch.
Is it lunch?
That you have to order breakfast. Brunch, that's the
Can I
biggest
get a
misconception.
mimosa and a burger?
You can do that.
know?
You can do that. All right,
There's that
thank
one's
God
tough.
you know that now.
There you go.
Now you can finally start accepting invitations from people. Because he always says, I don't even know what the hell to order. I can't go. So there you go. Glad you can fill it in.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
got you.
Appreciate that.
But misconceptions about networking, I think people don't know what it is, or they don't know like what to do when they get there. You know,
I
like
agree.
Do you just shove cards in people's faces? It's not the right way to go. I think it's
No.
more about the as you know, you can't build a rapport. Rapport. You can't. Hey, hi. You
Another
can't
dad
build a
joke.
rapport without actually meeting people instead of just throwing cards in people's faces.
Yeah.
Right? It's more of a business
yeah.
than that.
We'll also ask them questions about themselves.
People love talking about
People
themselves.
love it.
That's
yeah.
why we're here.
Yeah.
So Jess, the number one motivation for you to get up every day, every Sunday. So think you're taking your kids and you leave, you're leaving your house, taking weekend time away from your family and devoting it to your family of business babes. So the question is, that feeling when you leave that restaurant, when you leave that event, right? You must feel like a rocket ship.
Oh yeah, every time. It's so fulfilling to me because I see the aha moments. Like to be in real life in person, it's always different. But to see the aha moments, to watch girls connecting and like smiling. We had 2 girls that hadn't seen each other in years and years and years. They didn't even know they were going to be in the same room together, and that connection happened right in front of me. And I was like, oh my god, this is what it's about.
Now, you guys
Yeah.
have regular gatherings, and I know that you guys are having at the end of this month a media day. But you're also having something in March, I believe it is.
Yes.
Some giant. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Tell them what you're having.
Yes. So on March 22nd, we are doing the Breakthrough Experience. It is going to be the ultimate growth conference for Long Island-based entrepreneurs. We are getting together. We have expert speakers coming in, some from out of town, Philadelphia. We have panels of women and some men. So you're welcome to join us.
Right, thank you.
Who are going to be speaking on all aspects of business building. We have a power hour with, question-based, how to build your
Wow,
business
it's
with power
amazing.
moves.
Where is this event being held?
This will be at the Huntington Loft in Huntington.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you can learn more about that at bossbabesbreakthrough.com.
Is it a free event, pay event?
It is a paid event. Tickets are available on that website or on bossbabesbrunch.com as well.
And to attend one of your events, I'm asking this. I have 3 daughters, so 22, 20, and 15. So I'm all about be a strong woman. You forget about the man.
Yeah.
Pave your own
Leave 'em
path.
at home.
Right. But is there a age limit for your group, like 18 or older, or can
a 16-year-old who has a sock company who's a female join as well?
Absolutely.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Right.
We had a visit from Miss Long Island Teen.
Nice.
And Miss Long Island. They came to our event in August. And yeah, Miss Long Island Teen, she has a book. And I was like, let's talk about branding yourself and all these great
And
things.
so she's like 17 years old. And
She's I believe, a senior in high school right now.
wow.
Yeah,
and she's
just
branding herself and wrote a book already and everything.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, I wish I I didn't even know what entrepreneurship was at 17.
Right. Well, that's a good question that you just said. Craig and I were talking about this. there's a difference, and I'd be curious if you think. I think there's a difference between being a business owner and being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a big difference, and we've sat with people who have said that.
100%.
In your world, because you're right in the middle of it. I mean, you're herding the cats, so to speak.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, when a business owner, are they looking for the same thing as an entrepreneur? To your mind, it's all the same.
Oh, definitely not all the same. Being an entrepreneur is a lot more work. I think that
it takes a different kind of head.
Absolutely. Like I see it in a way, like if you're a business owner, you could buy that business, you could, just inherit that business, or it could just be one of those things that it flows easily. Being an entrepreneur is a lot more of like the grind and like a lot of figuring stuff out and a lot of, need for support and just tremendous growth that happens in the mindset of an entrepreneur. Agreed. Versus a business owner. Do they do some of the same things? Absolutely.
There's crossover, right. But
yeah.
I think also to your point, the entrepreneur recognizes the problem and his goal is to let me come up with a solution for that problem. Where sometimes a business owner, the solution has already been solved. They're just putting in the way to make it happen. Yeah. Conduit. That's the word I'm looking for.
My final question for you is: if you had to go back a year, right, and give yourself some advice to get to where you are now just a little bit easier, what would that advice be?
Full send. Just go for it.
I love it.
I spent months not putting my face on my Instagram account because I was afraid what people would think about me.
Oh my, I can't believe you just said it.
The same thing.
We just had this conversation with someone earlier, and something else that you said, we talked about crossing the street. You have two choices. You can
talk about it?
You can talk about it, stand in the middle of the street and get hit by a car, or just dart across and take a chance. Yeah. But when you get across, you get all the advantages of what's across.
Yeah, and the thrill.
There's no risk, no reward. You never know unless you try.
Absolutely.
100%.
I love what you said. So first and foremost, I'm going to ask you again, how does a businesswoman, get a hold of you to
babe it up?
To sample up one of those brunches.
Yeah.
And learn.
You can find us on Instagram or Facebook at bossbabeswhobrunch.li or on our website, bossbabesbrunch.com. And then you can learn more about the breakthrough experience at bossbabesbreakthrough.com.
And you don't have to be a babe. You could be a man.
For the breakthrough experience, absolutely. If you have some expertise that you would like to offer to our female babe community, then let's talk about it. I'm always open to a conversation.
I love it. But you must be in the entrepreneurial journey. It's somewhere in that journey.
Yeah, even if it's just a concept right now.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you. Well, we're out of time, man.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, of course.
Learned
Thank you
so
guys.
much. I'm definitely going to have my daughters look on Instagram for sure.
Fantastic.
Craig, take us away.
Well, from B2B with Randy and Craig, that's a wrap.
Thank you for tuning in to B2B with Randy and Craig. Looking forward to hanging with you next week.